Within you lies an alchemical power, capable of transforming life's leaden challenges into golden opportunities, yet most people never learn to wield it. The undeniable truth is that your attitude, the internal stance you adopt towards life's challenges and opportunities, acts as this powerful alchemist, capable of transforming adversity into advantage and effort into extraordinary achievement. Many search for external solutions, overlooking the immense power brewing within their own mindset. This book will guide you through the art of cultivating an unshakable attitude, one that fuels relentless persistence and ultimately allows you to win big in every aspect of your life. You will discover how to transmute self-doubt into self-belief, setbacks into stepping stones, and ordinary actions into extraordinary results, becoming the master architect of your own success. Attitude Alchemist, Cultivate Persistence and Win Big, written and published by Brainpower Blueprint. Chapter 1. The Power of Attitude. Imagine two individuals facing the exact same challenging situation, perhaps a difficult project at work, a personal setback, or an ambitious goal. One sees an insurmountable obstacle, a reason to feel defeated, and a confirmation of their limitations. The other, however, perceives an opportunity to learn, a chance to demonstrate resilience, and a puzzle waiting to be solved. What makes their experiences so vastly different? It's not the external event itself, but the internal lens through which they view it, their attitude. Many people underestimate this subtle yet profoundly powerful force, often feeling like victims of circumstance, tossed about by the winds of fortune. They may attribute their successes or failures to external factors like luck, talent, or the actions of others, without realizing the pivotal role their own mindset plays in shaping their reality. This common oversight leads to a reactive stance in life, where individuals feel disempowered, easily discouraged by obstacles, and unable to sustain the effort required to achieve significant goals. They might start new ventures with enthusiasm, only to abandon them when faced with the first sign of difficulty, because their attitude hasn't been cultivated to withstand pressure or to find the positive potential within adversity. This lack of conscious attitude management is a primary reason why so many fall short of their true capabilities, living a life dictated by circumstance rather than crafted by intention. The transformative solution is to recognize and harness attitude as your most powerful tool for shaping your experiences and outcomes, transforming it from an unconscious reaction into a deliberate choice. This means understanding that while you may not always control what happens to you, you always control how you choose to respond. The core idea is that your attitude is the alchemist within, capable of turning the lead of adversity into the gold of achievement. By consciously cultivating a positive, resilient, and growth-oriented attitude, you unlock a wellspring of inner strength that allows you to navigate challenges effectively, maintain motivation, and consistently move towards your goals. The benefits of mastering your attitude are far-reaching. You'll experience increased resilience in the face of setbacks, greater optimism, improved problem-solving skills, enhanced relationships, and a profound sense of personal agency. Picture yourself approaching every day, regardless of its potential difficulties, with a calm confidence, knowing that your internal stance can transform any situation into an opportunity for growth or success. This approach liberates you from the chains of negativity and victimhood, empowering you to become an active creator of your desired reality, where persistence flourishes and winning big becomes an attainable outcome. The first crucial step in harnessing the power of attitude is to develop a keen awareness of your current default attitude in various situations. This involves becoming an honest observer of your internal responses, especially when faced with challenges, frustrations, or unexpected changes. For the next few days, make a conscious effort to notice your immediate thoughts and feelings when things don't go as planned, when you receive criticism, or when you encounter an obstacle. Do you tend to focus on the problem or the potential solution? Do you blame circumstances or look for what you can control? Are your initial thoughts typically optimistic or pessimistic? Why this self-observation is vital is because you cannot consciously change an attitude that operates on autopilot if you are unaware of its patterns. Awareness is the precursor to intentional change. What it looks like in practice is someone like Sarah, a project manager, who started noticing that whenever a team member made a mistake, her immediate internal reaction was frustration and a thought like, now everything is going to be delayed because of this. By simply noticing this pattern without judgment, she began to see how her attitude might be affecting her leadership and the team's morale. She wasn't trying to fix it yet, just observing its presence. Following the development of awareness, the next key principle is to actively choose and cultivate a more empowering perspective, particularly by practicing gratitude and focusing on opportunities rather than obstacles. This means consciously shifting your mental focus from what's wrong, missing, or difficult to what's good, available, or possible. Start each day by identifying a few things you are grateful for. This simple practice can significantly shift your overall emotional baseline. When faced with a challenge, deliberately ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What's the opportunity hidden within this situation? What strengths can I bring to bear? This reframing doesn't deny the existence of difficulties, but it changes your relationship to them. Why this works is because your focus determines your reality. What you consistently look for, you are more likely to find. By training your mind to seek out the positive and the possible, you cultivate an attitude of resourcefulness and optimism. What it looks like in practice is David, a student struggling with a difficult subject. Instead of dwelling on thoughts like, I'll never understand this, he started a gratitude journal focusing on small wins, like, I'm grateful I understood one concept today. When facing a tough problem set, he'd ask, what's one small part of this I can tackle? This incremental shift in focus gradually changed his overall attitude towards the subject from one of dread to one of determined curiosity. The third vital action is to surround yourself with positive influences and to consciously manage the input that shapes your attitude. This includes the people you spend time with, the information you consume, books, news, social media, and even the physical environment you inhabit, as discussed in broader terms in our previous series. If you are constantly exposed to negativity, cynicism, or complaining, it will inevitably affect your own outlook. Seek out individuals who uplift you, who have a can-do attitude, and who inspire you to be better. Curate your information diet to include more content that is positive, educational, and motivational. Why this is effective is because attitude is contagious. By immersing yourself in a positive and supportive ecosystem, you make it easier to maintain your desired mindset. What it looks like in practice is Maria, who realized that her constant exposure to negative news cycles was making her feel anxious and pessimistic. She decided to limit her news intake and started listening to inspiring podcasts during her commute. She also made an effort to spend more time with friends who were generally optimistic and supportive, and less time with those who consistently dwelled on problems. This conscious curation of her external influences helped to reinforce the positive internal attitude she was working to build. By becoming aware of your attitude, actively choosing more empowering perspectives, and managing your external influences, you begin to truly wield the alchemical power of your mind, setting the stage for profound personal and professional victories. With a newfound understanding of how your attitude fundamentally shapes your experience of the world, you might now be wondering about the deeper structures that hold these attitudes in place. What if the attitudes you display are merely the surface expressions of more profound, often hidden convictions you hold about yourself and the world? How do these core beliefs dictate your actions and, ultimately, your destiny? The next chapter will delve into the powerful connection between what you believe and how you behave. Remember to subscribe to Brainpower Blueprint, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 2. Belief Shapes Behavior. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like the operating system of a powerful computer. Your beliefs are the core programming, the fundamental code that dictates how all other applications, your thoughts, attitudes, and ultimately your actions, will run. If this core code contains bugs or limiting programs, then no matter how sophisticated the hardware, the computer's performance will be compromised. Similarly, your deeply held beliefs about yourself, your capabilities, and the nature of the world around you are the invisible architects of your behavior and, consequently, your results. Many people go through life unaware of the profound extent to which their actions are governed by these often unexamined beliefs. They might struggle with procrastination, fear of failure, or an inability to seize opportunities, attributing these behaviors to personality flaws or external circumstances, without realizing that the root cause lies in underlying beliefs such as, "I'm not good enough," "success is for other people," or "trying hard is pointless because I'll only fail anyway." This lack of awareness about the power of one's belief system is a significant hurdle because it means individuals are often trying to change their behaviors without addressing the foundational beliefs that are driving those very behaviors. It's like trying to fix a recurring software glitch by repeatedly restarting the computer instead of debugging the problematic code itself. The transformative solution is to embark on a conscious exploration of your belief system, identifying and dismantling limiting beliefs while actively cultivating and reinforcing empowering ones. This process involves recognizing that beliefs are not immutable truths, but rather interpretations and conclusions you have drawn from past experiences, which can be reevaluated and changed. The core idea is that by transforming your foundational beliefs, you can fundamentally alter your behavior patterns, unlocking new levels of potential and creating lasting change. When you shift a core belief from, for example, "I'm incapable of learning new skills," to "I am capable of learning anything I set my mind to with effort and persistence," your entire approach to challenges and opportunities changes. The benefits of this internal restructuring are immense. You'll experience increased confidence, a greater willingness to take calculated risks, enhanced resilience in the face of setbacks, and a natural alignment of your actions with your highest aspirations. Picture yourself operating from a core programming of self-efficacy and possibility. Your behaviors would instinctively reflect this, leading you towards desired outcomes with greater ease and consistency. This conscious re-engineering of your belief system is the key to unlocking behaviors that support persistent effort and big wins. The first actionable step in reshaping your belief system is to become an archaeologist of your own mind, excavating and identifying the core beliefs that are currently influencing your behavior, particularly those that might be limiting you. This requires honest self-reflection and a willingness to look beyond surface thoughts and actions. Ask yourself, what beliefs do I hold about my abilities in different areas of my life, career, relationships, personal growth? What are my beliefs about success, failure, effort, and challenges? Where did these beliefs come from? Are they based on objective facts or past interpretations that may no longer be relevant or accurate? One way to uncover these beliefs is to notice recurring patterns in your behavior or excuses you often make. For example, if you consistently avoid public speaking opportunities, the underlying belief might be, "I'm a terrible speaker," or "people will judge me negatively." Why this excavation is crucial is because you cannot change a belief you are not aware of. Bringing these deeply ingrained assumptions into the light of consciousness is the first step toward evaluating and transforming them. What it looks like in practice is someone like John, who noticed he always hesitated to ask for a raise despite deserving one. Through reflection, he uncovered a core belief instilled in childhood. It's impolite to ask for what you want. You should wait until it's offered. Recognizing this belief as a major driver of his hesitant behavior was a breakthrough. Once you have identified a limiting belief, the next key principle is to critically examine and actively challenge its validity. Treat the belief not as a sacred truth, but as a hypothesis to be tested. Gather evidence for and against it. Ask yourself, is this belief universally true, or are there exceptions? What would happen if I chose not to believe this anymore? What alternative belief could be more empowering and equally, if not more, true? This process involves using your rational mind to deconstruct beliefs that are often emotionally charged and accepted without question. For instance, if the belief is, "I'm too old to start a new career," challenge it by looking for examples of people who have successfully changed careers later in life. Explore the factual basis, or lack thereof, for this assumption. Why this works is because most limiting beliefs do not hold up under rigorous objective scrutiny. Actively questioning them weakens their hold over you and opens your mind to new possibilities. What it looks like in practice is Maria, who held the belief, "I'm not creative." She challenged this by recalling small instances where she had solved problems in innovative ways or come up with unique ideas, even if not in traditionally artistic fields. She also started a small creative hobby, like photography, and realized creativity wasn't an inborn trait but a skill she could develop, thus disproving her old belief through direct experience and reevaluation. The third vital action is to consciously install and reinforce new, empowering beliefs that are aligned with your desired behaviors and outcomes. This isn't just about wishful thinking. It's about choosing new guiding principles and then actively seeking experiences and affirmations that support them. For every limiting belief you dismantle, formulate a positive, present-tense affirmation that represents your new, chosen belief. For example, I am a capable and resourceful individual, able to learn and adapt to new challenges. Then, actively look for evidence in your daily life that supports this new belief, no matter how small. Celebrate these small confirmations. You can also use techniques like visualization, imagining yourself acting and succeeding from this new belief system. Why this is effective is because it begins to create new neural pathways in your brain. The more you consciously focus on and act from your new empowering beliefs, the more deeply ingrained they become, eventually replacing the old limiting ones. What it looks like in practice is John, who, after identifying his belief about not asking for things, adopted the new belief, "I am worthy of advocating for my needs and contributions." He then prepared his case for a raise, focusing on his accomplishments, gathering evidence for his new belief, and successfully negotiated a better salary. Each time he acted in accordance with this new belief, it became stronger and more natural. By diligently excavating, challenging, and replacing your beliefs, you reshape the very foundations of your behavior, empowering yourself to act with persistence and achieve the significant wins you aspire to. Now that you grasp how your foundational beliefs dictate your behavior and how your attitude colors your world, you might feel a surge of empowerment. But what happens when, despite a positive attitude and empowering beliefs, you encounter the hard edge of your perceived limitations or the sheer daunting nature of a massive goal? How do you cultivate the unwavering tenacity, the sheer grit required to push through when things get truly tough? The journey from belief to breakthrough often requires forging an inner steel. What if you could systematically build this resilience and break through any barrier? Remember to subscribe to Brainpower Blueprint, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 3. Break Limits, Build Grit. Imagine a diamond, one of the hardest substances on Earth. It wasn't formed overnight, nor in gentle conditions. It was forged deep within the earth under immense pressure and extreme heat over vast periods. Similarly, human grit, that potent combination of passion and perseverance for long-term goals, isn't an inborn trait reserved for a select few. It's a quality that can be cultivated, often forged in the crucible of challenge and sustained effort. After understanding the power of attitude and how beliefs shape behavior, the next crucial step is to actively develop the tenacity needed to break through perceived limitations and persist when the path gets arduous. The common problem many individuals face is that while they may start with enthusiasm, their resolve often crumbles when confronted with significant obstacles, repeated failures, or the sheer length of the journey towards a meaningful goal. They might have a positive attitude and believe in their potential, but they lack the sustained determination, the grit to keep going when progress is slow, feedback is harsh, or the initial excitement wanes. This can lead to a pattern of starting strong but failing to finish, leaving a trail of unfulfilled ambitions and a reinforced sense of their own limits. The absence of well-developed grit means that perceived boundaries, whether internal or external, often become actual stopping points. The transformative solution is to consciously engage in practices that build your grit muscle, allowing you to push beyond your comfort zone, learn from setbacks, and maintain unwavering commitment to your most important objectives, even in the face of adversity. This involves understanding that limitations are often more mental than real, and that resilience, like any skill, can be strengthened through deliberate practice. The core idea here is that grit is not about an absence of fear or difficulty, but about the courage and determination to continue despite them. By cultivating grit, you transform obstacles from insurmountable barriers into challenges that refine your skills and strengthen your resolve. The benefits are profound. You develop an unshakable belief in your ability to overcome difficulties. Your capacity for sustained effort increases dramatically, and you become far more likely to achieve truly ambitious, long-term goals that once seemed out of reach. Picture yourself as an endurance athlete, not just in a physical sense, but in the pursuit of your life's ambitions, able to maintain pace and focus through inevitable fatigue and challenges. Building grit liberates you from the cycle of giving up too soon and empowers you to redefine what's possible for yourself. The first essential principle in breaking limits and building grit is to cultivate a growth mindset, a concept famously explored by psychologist Carol Dweck. This is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work, rather than being fixed, innate traits. When you adopt a growth mindset, you view challenges not as threats to your ego, but as opportunities to learn and improve. Failures are not seen as proof of your inadequacy, but as valuable feedback that guides your future efforts. Why this mindset is foundational to grit is because it reframes your entire relationship with difficulty and effort. If you believe you can grow, you're more likely to persist when things get tough. What it looks like in practice is actively choosing to take on tasks that stretch your current abilities, even if there's a risk of not succeeding perfectly at first. For example, someone with a growth mindset wanting to improve their public speaking might volunteer for a small presentation, focusing on what they can learn from the experience rather than on achieving perfection. If they stumble, they'd analyze what happened and strategize how to improve next time, rather than concluding, "I'm just not a good speaker." This embrace of the learning process, even when it's uncomfortable, is a hallmark of a growth mindset. Following the adoption of a growth mindset, the next crucial action is to intentionally step outside your comfort zone in small, manageable increments. Grit is built through successfully navigating challenges that push your boundaries. If you always stay within what feels safe and easy, you never develop the resilience needed for bigger goals. Start by identifying areas where you feel limited or apprehensive, and then devise small, deliberate actions that take you just beyond your current comfort level. This could be speaking up in a meeting if you're usually quiet, trying a new skill that seems intimidating, or setting a slightly more ambitious target on a current project. Why this works is because each small step successfully taken outside your comfort zone expands that zone and builds your confidence in your ability to handle discomfort and uncertainty, which are inherent in pursuing challenging goals. What it looks like in practice is Sarah, who had a fear of networking. Instead of avoiding events altogether, she set a small goal, to speak to just one new person at the next industry gathering. Once she did that successfully, her comfort zone expanded slightly. For the next event, her goal was 2 people. This gradual incremental exposure helped her build the grit to eventually navigate networking situations with much greater ease and effectiveness, breaking through her initial self-imposed limitation. The third vital component in building grit is to practice resilient self-talk and learn to reframe setbacks productively. When you inevitably encounter obstacles or experience failures, the way you interpret and speak to yourself about these events critically impacts your ability to persist. Instead of engaging in harsh self-criticism or catastrophic thinking, "I'm a failure, this is impossible," consciously reframe the situation. Acknowledge the disappointment, but then focus on what you can learn, what you can do differently next time, and remind yourself of your long-term commitment. Ask, what did this experience teach me? How can this make me stronger or smarter moving forward? Why this is effective is because it shifts your internal narrative from one of defeat to one of learning and empowerment. preserving your motivation and willingness to try again. Resilient self-talk fuels perseverance. What it looks like in practice is an entrepreneur, Mark, whose product launch didn't meet initial sales targets. Instead of concluding his business was a failure, a fixed mindset response, he told himself, okay, this launch strategy didn't work as well as hoped. Let's analyze the customer feedback, identify what went wrong, and iterate on the product and marketing. This is a learning curve. This reframing allowed him to treat the setback as a data point, not a definitive judgment, enabling him to persist with renewed strategy. By fostering a growth mindset, intentionally stretching your limits, and mastering resilient self-talk, you forge the unbreakable grit needed to overcome any obstacle and relentlessly pursue your biggest wins. Now that you are equipped with the inner steel of grit, ready to break through limitations and persist in the face of adversity, you might wonder how to sustain this effort over the long haul. Big goals are rarely achieved in short bursts of intense activity alone. They require consistent, often unglamorous, daily effort. How do you learn to not just tolerate, but to truly embrace the day-in, day-out process, the daily grind that underpins all significant achievement? What if the secret to extraordinary results lies in your ability to find purpose and even joy in the mundane? Remember to subscribe to Brainpower Blueprint, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 4. Embrace the daily grind. Imagine a master craftsman patiently honing his skill. Day after day, year after year. Each tap of the hammer, each careful measurement, each repetitive motion contributes to the eventual masterpiece. There's no quick fix, no shortcut to excellence. There is only the steady, often unglamorous dedication to the process. This is the essence of embracing the daily grind, the consistent, sometimes monotonous effort required to achieve anything worthwhile. After cultivating grit and a resilient mindset, the next challenge is to sustain your efforts over the long term, especially when the initial excitement fades and the work becomes routine. The common problem many individuals encounter is a passion paradox. They are passionate about the outcome, the successful business, the athletic achievement, the artistic creation, but they struggle with the unexciting, repetitive tasks that form the necessary bedrock of that outcome. They may crave the mountaintop experience but resist the daily climb. This resistance to the grind leads to inconsistency, procrastination, and eventually abandonment of long-term goals. We live in a culture that often glorifies instant results and overnight success, making it difficult to appreciate the profound value of sustained, diligent effort. When the work feels like a chore, motivation plummets, and even the grittiest individuals can find their resolve tested. The transformative solution is to reframe your perception of the daily grind, shifting from seeing it as a tedious burden to recognizing it as the essential pathway to mastery and a powerful opportunity for growth in itself. This involves cultivating an appreciation for the process, finding satisfaction in the consistent execution of small tasks, and understanding that true fulfillment often arises from the journey, not just the destination. The core idea is that by embracing the daily grind, you transform it from an obstacle into an ally. You learn to derive a sense of purpose and accomplishment from the work itself, independent of immediate results. The benefits of this mindset shift are immense. You develop unwavering consistency, build powerful momentum, deepen your skills through deliberate practice, and cultivate a profound sense of discipline and self-respect. Picture yourself approaching your daily tasks not with resignation, but with a focused intentionality, knowing that each small effort is a vital contribution to your larger vision. This approach liberates you from the constant need for external validation or exciting breakthroughs, allowing you to find a sustainable rhythm of productivity and purpose that leads, almost inevitably, to significant achievement. The first crucial step in embracing the daily grind is to connect your daily tasks, no matter how mundane they may seem, to your larger vision and deeper purpose, your why that we've touched upon before. When you understand how each small action contributes to the bigger picture you are passionate about, even repetitive work gains meaning. Before you start your work for the day, take a moment to remind yourself of your ultimate goal and how the tasks ahead, however tedious, are stepping stones towards it. Why this works is because purpose infuses even ordinary activities with significance, transforming them from chores into meaningful contributions. When your work feels purposeful, it's easier to stay engaged and motivated through the inevitable monotony. What it looks like in practice is an author working on a long novel. The daily grind of writing a certain number of words, editing and re-editing, can be laborious. However, by consistently reconnecting with her deeper purpose, to tell an important story, to connect with readers, or to express her creativity, she finds the motivation to show up at the keyboard each day. Each word written is a step closer to fulfilling that purpose, making the grind more bearable and even enjoyable. Following the connection to purpose, the next key principle is to focus on systems and processes rather than solely on goals or outcomes. While goals provide direction, it's your daily systems and routines that ensure you make consistent progress. Break down your larger objectives into small, repeatable daily or weekly actions, and then focus on executing these processes flawlessly, regardless of how you feel on any given day. Celebrate the adherence to your process as much as, or even more than, the achievement of intermediate results. Why this is effective is because systems create consistency and predictability, reducing reliance on fluctuating motivation or willpower. When you have a solid system, you just follow the steps, and progress becomes a natural byproduct. What it looks like in practice is someone training for a marathon. Their goal is to finish the race. Their system is a detailed training plan, specific distances to run each day, strength training routines, and nutrition guidelines. By focusing on consistently executing the daily plan, the grind of training runs, even when tired, rather than obsessing over the distant race day, they build the necessary endurance and discipline. The satisfaction comes from sticking to the process, knowing that each completed workout is a win in itself. The third vital action is to incorporate elements of deliberate practice and mindful engagement into your daily grind to keep it from becoming truly mindless. Deliberate practice involves not just going through the motions, but actively seeking to improve, getting feedback, and focusing on areas of weakness. Even in repetitive tasks, you can find ways to optimize, learn, or increase your efficiency. Mindful engagement means bringing your full attention to the task at hand, finding small points of interest or satisfaction rather than letting your mind wander or resist. Why this works is because it introduces elements of challenge, learning, and presence into routine work, preventing burnout and fostering continuous improvement. It turns the grind into an active process of skill refinement. What it looks like in practice is a musician practicing scales. Instead of just mechanically playing them, they might focus deliberately on the evenness of their tone, the precision of their fingering, or the emotional quality they can bring to even a simple exercise. Similarly, someone whose job involves repetitive data entry might challenge themselves to improve their speed and accuracy by a small percentage each week, or focus mindfully on the rhythm of their keystrokes, turning a potentially tedious task into an opportunity for focused concentration and incremental improvement. By connecting daily actions to a larger purpose, building robust systems, and engaging in your work with mindful, deliberate practice, you transform the daily grind from a burden to be endured into a powerful engine for achieving your most ambitious goals. You've now learned to harness your attitude, align your beliefs, build unwavering grit, and even find a sense of purpose in the daily grind. You are building an incredible foundation for persistence. But what happens when, despite your best efforts and a strong mindset, you encounter significant setbacks or outright failures? How do you not only recover from these blows, but actually use them as fuel to bounce back stronger and with even greater clarity of purpose? Our next chapter will explore the art of transforming adversity into your greatest advantage. Remember to subscribe to Brainpower Blueprint, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 5. Bounce Back with Purpose. Have you ever witnessed a mighty oak tree in a storm? It bends, it sways, its branches may even crack, but after the tempest passes, it often stands taller, its roots dug deeper, its core strengthened by the adversity it endured. This natural resilience is not unlike the human capacity to bounce back from setbacks. Yet how often do we feel more like a fragile sapling, easily uprooted by the winds of failure or disappointment? You've cultivated a powerful attitude, reshaped limiting beliefs, built grit, and even learned to embrace the daily grind. But life, in its infinite variety, will inevitably present moments that test your resolve in ways you didn't anticipate. Significant setbacks, unexpected failures, or periods where progress seems to vanish. The common problem is that when faced with such blows, many individuals struggle to recover effectively. They might get stuck in feelings of disappointment, self-blame, or discouragement, allowing a single failure to define their potential or derail their long-term aspirations. The emotional impact of a setback can be so overwhelming that it erodes motivation, shatters confidence, and makes the prospect of trying again seem daunting, if not impossible. This difficulty in bouncing back isn't a sign of weakness, but often a lack of strategy and a misunderstanding of how to harness the potent energy contained within adversity itself. Without the ability to rebound with renewed purpose, even the most promising journeys can be cut short by the inevitable hurdles along the path. The transformative solution lies in cultivating the art of purposeful resilience, which means not just recovering from setbacks, but bouncing back stronger, wiser, and with a renewed sense of direction, using the experience of failure as a catalyst for growth. This approach reframes setbacks not as definitive endings, but as crucial feedback mechanisms and opportunities to refine your approach and deepen your commitment. The core idea is that within every failure or disappointment, there are valuable lessons and a chance to reaffirm your why. By learning to extract these lessons and reconnect with your purpose in the aftermath of adversity, you transform the experience from a source of pain into a source of power. The benefits are profound. You develop an unshakable resilience, your problem-solving skills become sharper, your self-awareness deepens, and your commitment to your goals becomes even more robust because it has been tested and reaffirmed. Imagine yourself encountering a significant obstacle, and instead of succumbing to despair, feeling a surge of clarity and determination, armed with new insights and an even stronger reason to persist. This ability to bounce back with purpose liberates you from the fear of failure, transforming it into an indispensable part of your journey towards winning big. The first critical action in learning to bounce back with purpose is to allow yourself to acknowledge and process the genuine emotional impact of a setback, rather than suppressing it or immediately trying to force a positive spin. It's natural to feel disappointed, frustrated, or even sad when things don't go as planned. Giving yourself permission to experience these emotions in a healthy way, perhaps by talking to a trusted friend, journaling, or simply allowing yourself quiet time for reflection, is a necessary step before you can move forward constructively. Why this works is because unprocessed emotions can linger and fester, subtly sabotaging future efforts. Acknowledging them allows for emotional release and clears the path for rational analysis and learning. What it looks like in practice is someone like Maria, an entrepreneur whose major client unexpectedly terminated their contract. Instead of immediately jumping into damage control or pretending it didn't bother her, she allowed herself an afternoon to feel the disappointment and anxiety. She spoke with her mentor about her concerns, which helped her process the initial shock and feel understood, enabling her to approach the situation with a clearer head the next day. Once you've acknowledged the emotional component, the next key principle is to conduct a compassionate and objective after-action review of the setback. This means analyzing what happened without resorting to harsh self-blame or assigning blame to others. Ask yourself a series of constructive questions. What exactly happened? What were the contributing factors, both within and outside my control? What did I do well despite the outcome? What could I have done differently? And most importantly, what are the key lessons I can learn from this experience that will help me in the future? Why this approach is effective is because it shifts the focus from the pain of failure to the opportunity for learning and growth. It turns the setback into valuable data. What it looks like in practice is a student, David, who failed an important exam. After the initial disappointment, he sat down and reviewed his study methods. He realized he had focused too much on rereading notes, a passive technique, and not enough on practice questions, an active learning strategy. He also recognized he had underestimated the time needed for certain topics. This objective analysis, free from self-flagellation, provided him with a clear roadmap for how to prepare more effectively next time. The third vital step is to consciously reconnect with your core purpose and use the lessons learned from the setback to refine your path forward, thereby bouncing back not just to where you were, but to a stronger, more informed position. Ask yourself, how does this experience and the lessons gleaned from it relate to my larger goals and my fundamental why? How can I adjust my strategy or approach based on what I've learned to increase my chances of success next time? This is where resilience becomes purposeful. You are not just enduring, you are adapting and growing with intention. Why this works is because it channels the energy of the setback into renewed commitment and smarter action. Your purpose acts as a powerful anchor and motivator, while the lessons learned provide a clearer direction. What it looks like in practice is a sports team that loses a crucial game. After analyzing their performance, the after-action review, they might reconnect with their shared purpose of winning the championship and use the lessons from their loss, perhaps a weakness in defense or a need for better communication, to adjust their training and game strategy. They don't just go back to playing the same way, they bounce back with a refined approach, fueled by a reaffirmed commitment to their ultimate goal. By mastering the art of acknowledging emotions, learning objectively from failures, and reconnecting with your purpose to inform your next steps, you transform setbacks from roadblocks into springboards for greater achievement and more profound persistence. Having learned to not just weather the storms of setbacks, but to emerge from them with greater strength and purpose, you are truly fortifying your ability to persist. But persistence isn't just about enduring hardship. It's also about the quality and intelligence of the effort you apply day in and day out. How do you ensure that your sustained hard work is truly effective, transforming your diligent efforts into tangible, golden results? What if there are ways to make your efforts smarter, not just harder, so that every ounce of energy you expend contributes directly to your biggest wins? Our next chapter will explore how to alchemize your daily endeavors. Remember to subscribe to Brainpower Blueprint, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 6. Turn Effort into Gold. Imagine an ancient alchemist diligently working in his laboratory, not just randomly mixing substances, but applying precise knowledge, focused intention, and tireless experimentation to transform base metals into precious gold. This meticulous, intelligent application of effort is akin to how we can approach our own goals. You've learned to bounce back from setbacks with purpose, armed with resilience and a growth mindset. Now the focus shifts to the nature of the effort itself. How do you ensure that your hard work, your daily grind, is not just voluminous but also optimally effective, truly turning your sweat and persistence into the gold of tangible achievements and mastery? The common problem is that many people equate sheer effort or long hours with progress, without critically examining the quality or direction of that effort. They might work incredibly hard, burn the midnight oil, and push themselves relentlessly, yet still fall short of their desired outcomes or experience burnout. This often happens because the effort, while commendable in its intensity, may be misapplied, unfocused, or not aligned with the principles of effective learning and skill development. It's like trying to fill a leaky bucket by pouring in more water, rather than first identifying and fixing the leaks. Without an intelligent approach to effort, even the most persistent individuals can find themselves spinning their wheels, expending vast amounts of energy for disproportionately small returns. The transformative solution is to adopt a mindset of intelligent effort, where you learn to combine hard work with strategic thinking, deliberate practice, and a continuous focus on optimizing your approach. This means moving beyond simply trying hard to training smart. The core idea is that the how of your effort is just as important, if not more so, than the how much. By applying your energy in a focused, strategic, and continuously improving manner, you can significantly amplify your results and accelerate your progress towards mastery. The benefits are substantial. You achieve your goals more efficiently, develop skills more rapidly, avoid burnout by working smarter, and experience a greater sense of accomplishment and return on your invested energy. Picture yourself as a skilled artisan, where every action is purposeful, every technique is refined, and every ounce of effort contributes directly to the creation of a masterpiece. This approach to effort liberates you from the trap of unproductive busyness, empowering you to make your persistence truly count and to alchemize your daily work into undeniable success. The first crucial principle in turning effort into gold is to embrace the concept of deliberate practice, which is distinct from simply putting in hours. Deliberate practice, as highlighted by researchers like Anders Ericsson, involves focused attention on improving a specific skill or aspect of performance, often by working just beyond your current capabilities and receiving immediate feedback. It's about purposeful, systematic effort aimed at getting better, not just going through the motions. Identify the key skills crucial for your goals, break them down into smaller components, and then focus your effort on improving those components one by one, constantly seeking ways to stretch your abilities. Why this works is because it targets specific weaknesses and pushes you into the learning zone, leading to more rapid skill acquisition and refinement than unfocused effort. What it looks like in practice is a musician not just playing songs they already know, but isolating difficult passages, slowing them down, and practicing them repeatedly with intense concentration until they are mastered. Similarly, a writer might deliberately practice crafting more compelling introductions or more vivid descriptions, seeking feedback and revising their work with a specific improvement goal in mind, rather than just aiming for a word count. Following the adoption of deliberate practice, the next key action is to consistently seek and integrate feedback into your efforts. Effort without feedback is like shooting arrows in the dark. You might be working hard, but you have no way of knowing if you're hitting the target or how to adjust your aim. Actively solicit feedback from mentors, peers, coaches, or even through self-assessment by objectively reviewing your own performance against clear standards. Crucially, learn to view feedback not as criticism, but as valuable information that can help you refine your approach and make your effort more effective. Why this is effective is because feedback provides essential data for course correction, helping you identify blind spots, understand what's working and what's not, and make your practice more targeted. What it looks like in practice is an athlete regularly reviewing game footage with their coach to identify areas for improvement in their technique or strategy. Or a professional who, after a presentation, asks colleagues for specific input on clarity, engagement, and impact. They then take these observations and incorporate them into their preparation for future presentations, ensuring their effort is directed towards genuine improvement rather than just repetition of potentially flawed methods. The third vital insight is to consistently apply the principle of leverage to your efforts, focusing your energy on the activities that yield the greatest results, often referred to as the 80-20 rule or Pareto principle, which suggests that roughly 80% of effects come from 20% of causes. Identify the key tasks or skills in your field or for your specific goal that will have the most significant impact if mastered or executed well. Then, prioritize and dedicate a disproportionate amount of your focused effort to these high-leverage activities. This doesn't mean neglecting other tasks, but it ensures that your prime energy is invested where it will generate the most gold. Why this works is because not all effort is created equal. By concentrating on high-impact areas, you maximize your return on invested time and energy, leading to more significant progress with potentially less overall exertion. What it looks like in practice is a small business owner who identifies that 20% of their clients generate 80% of their revenue. They then focus a significant portion of their effort on nurturing those key relationships and acquiring similar high-value clients, rather than spreading their marketing efforts thinly across all potential customer segments. Similarly, A student preparing for exams might identify the 20% of topics or concepts that are most likely to appear or carry the most weight, and focus their most intense study efforts there. By engaging in deliberate practice, actively seeking and integrating feedback, and applying the principle of leverage, you ensure that your persistence is not just admirable, but also incredibly effective, transforming your hard work into tangible, valuable results. You are now equipped to make your efforts not only persistent, but also highly intelligent and effective, turning your hard work into tangible gold. But even the smartest effort, applied diligently, needs one more critical ingredient to guarantee those truly big wins over time. What is this final catalyst that transforms consistent, intelligent effort into monumental success? How do you ensure that your daily alchemy builds into a legacy of achievement? The next chapter will reveal the almost magical power of unwavering consistency in achieving your most audacious goals. Remember to subscribe to Brainpower Blueprint. Give this video a like and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 7. Win Big with Consistency. Imagine a tiny stream of water persistently flowing over a massive boulder. Each drop of water seems insignificant on its own, yet over time, that relentless consistency can carve a deep channel through the hardest rock. This is the almost unbelievable power of consistency when applied to your goals. You've learned to cultivate a winning attitude, reshape beliefs, build grit, embrace the daily grind, bounce back with purpose, and turn your effort into gold. Now, we arrive at the principle that ties all these elements together and amplifies their impact exponentially, the unwavering commitment to consistent action over the long haul. The common challenge many people face, even those who are talented and work hard in bursts, is sustaining their efforts consistently over weeks, months, and even years. They might be highly productive for a short period, making impressive strides, but then fall off track, lose momentum, and find it difficult to regain their rhythm. This sporadic application of effort, however intense, rarely leads to the significant, lasting achievements they aspire to. It's like trying to heat a pot of water to boiling by repeatedly turning the flame on high for a few minutes and then turning it off again. The water may get warm, but it will never reach the sustained temperature needed to truly transform. This lack of sustained consistency is often the missing link between good intentions and great accomplishments. The transformative solution is to deeply understand and internalize the profound impact of consistent, incremental progress, making consistency itself a core value and a non-negotiable aspect of your approach to achieving your goals. This means prioritizing showing up and taking small, steady actions day after day, even when you don't feel motivated, and even if the immediate results aren't visible. The core idea here is that consistency is the engine of compound growth. Just as small, regular investments compound over time to create significant wealth, small, regular efforts in your personal and professional life compound to create remarkable skills, achievements, and transformations. The benefits are monumental. You build unstoppable momentum, your skills deepen almost imperceptibly until they reach mastery, you cultivate an ironclad discipline, and you dramatically increase the probability of achieving even your most audacious long-term goals. Picture yourself as a long-distance runner who maintains a steady, sustainable pace, mile after mile, ultimately outperforming those who sprint and then burn out. Embracing consistency liberates you from the pressure of having to make heroic efforts every day and empowers you to trust in the quiet, relentless power of your daily dedication to deliver extraordinary long-term wins. The first crucial action in cultivating unwavering consistency is to design your habits and routines around sustainability rather than short-term intensity. This means breaking down your goals into small, manageable daily or weekly actions that you can realistically commit to over the long term without burning out. As we explored when building atomic habits, the key is to make the barrier to starting so low that it's easy to show up even on your least motivated days. It's better to consistently do a little than to sporadically do a lot. Why this works is because sustainability breeds longevity. Habits that are too ambitious or demanding are difficult to maintain when life inevitably throws curveballs, leading to breaks in consistency and loss of momentum. Small, sustainable actions, however, can weather these storms. What it looks like in practice is someone wanting to write a book. Instead of setting a daunting goal of writing for 3 hours every day, they commit to writing for just 30 minutes consistently. This smaller commitment is easier to maintain day in and day out, even with a busy schedule. And over a year, those 30-minute sessions add up to a significant body of work, far more than if they had attempted longer sessions sporadically and given up. Following the principle of sustainable action, the next key insight is to meticulously track your progress and celebrate your consistency, not just your big wins. Keeping a visual record of your efforts, for example, marking off days on a calendar when you complete your target habit, or using a habit tracking app, can be incredibly motivating. This creates a chain of consistent actions, and your desire not to break the chain becomes a powerful incentive to keep going. Furthermore, acknowledge and reward yourself for sticking to your process, for showing up consistently, even if the larger results are still far off. Why this is effective is because it provides immediate positive reinforcement for the behavior of consistency itself, making it more likely to be repeated. It shifts the focus from distant outcomes to the satisfaction of daily discipline. What it looks like in practice is an individual learning a new language who commits to 15 minutes of practice daily. They put a check mark on their calendar each day they complete their session. Seeing the unbroken string of check marks provides a visual testament to their consistency and motivates them to continue, especially on days when they might feel tired or uninspired. They might also reward themselves with a small, non-food treat after a month of unbroken consistency, reinforcing the value they place on this trait. The third vital component in winning big with consistency is to develop strategies for quickly getting back on track after an inevitable slip-up. Perfection is an illusion. Everyone misses a day or makes a mistake occasionally. The key is not to let one missed day turn into 2 or a week or a complete abandonment of your efforts. Adopt the rule, never miss twice. If you deviate from your plan, forgive yourself quickly and recommit to getting back on track with the very next opportunity, the next meal, the next workout, the next day. Don't fall into the all-or-nothing trap, where one misstep makes you feel like you've failed completely and might as well give up. Why this works is because it prevents small lapses from escalating into major derailments. It builds resilience into your consistency, allowing for human imperfection without sacrificing long-term momentum. What it looks like in practice is someone committed to a healthy eating plan who indulges in an unplanned dessert at a party. Instead of seeing this as a total failure and abandoning their plan for the rest of the week, they acknowledge the slip, enjoy the moment, and then commit to making healthy choices at their very next meal, immediately getting back on their consistent path. By designing sustainable habits, tracking and celebrating your adherence, and mastering the art of the quick recovery, you harness the incredible power of consistency to build unstoppable momentum towards your biggest victories. You are now armed with the understanding that consistent, intelligent effort, fueled by a resilient attitude and strong beliefs, is the cornerstone of significant achievement. You've learned to embrace the journey, bounce back from adversity, and turn daily actions into powerful building blocks. What then is the ultimate culmination of this alchemical process? How do you integrate all these elements so deeply that they become not just strategies you apply, but the very essence of who you are, leading to a state of true mastery? The final chapter explores how to alchemize your transformed mindset into a lasting legacy of personal and professional excellence. Remember to subscribe to Brainpower Blueprint, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 8. Alchemize Mindset into Mastery. Imagine an alchemist who has finally discovered the true philosopher's stone, not a mythical substance that turns lead into gold, but an internalized understanding and practice that transforms every aspect of their being and their work into something of profound value and excellence. This is the ultimate aim of your journey as an attitude alchemist, to so deeply integrate a growth mindset, unwavering persistence, and purposeful action that they become the very fabric of your existence, leading to a state of ongoing mastery. Throughout this journey, you have meticulously gathered the ingredients: a powerful attitude, empowering beliefs, unshakable grit, an appreciation for the daily grind, the ability to bounce back with purpose, the wisdom to turn effort into gold, and the discipline of consistency. Now we explore how to fuse these elements into a seamless, self-sustaining way of life, where your transformed mindset naturally and continuously produces mastery in your chosen endeavors. The challenge at this stage is not about learning new techniques, but about achieving deep integration and embodiment. It's ensuring that these principles are not just intellectual understandings or sporadically applied tools, but have become your default mode of operating, your second nature. Without this profound assimilation, even the best strategies can remain superficial, and the risk of reverting to old patterns under pressure, however small, might linger. True alchemy is about permanent transformation. The transformative solution is to consciously cultivate a state of mindset mastery, where the principles of positive attitude, growth, persistence, and purposeful action are so deeply embedded that they inform your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors automatically and effortlessly. This is the point where the doing becomes being. The core idea is that mastery is not a final destination you arrive at, but rather a continuous process of learning, growing, and refining, driven by an internalized alchemical mindset. When you achieve this level of integration, you no longer have to consciously try to be persistent or positive. These qualities emanate naturally from your core. The benefits are truly profound. You experience a sustainable sense of fulfillment, your capacity for achievement expands continuously, you navigate life's complexities with greater wisdom and grace, and you become a source of inspiration for others. Picture yourself as someone who not only achieves great things, but does so with an inherent sense of purpose and an unwavering commitment to lifelong growth, adapting and thriving no matter the circumstance. This alchemical fusion of mindset and action is the hallmark of true personal and professional mastery, allowing you to not just win big, but to continuously elevate your game. The first essential principle in alchemizing your mindset into mastery is to commit to lifelong learning and continuous self-reflection as a fundamental way of being. Mastery is not static. It requires a perpetual curiosity and a humble willingness to always seek new knowledge, refine skills, and gain deeper insights. Dedicate regular time for learning within your field and beyond, and equally importantly, schedule moments for profound self-reflection. Ask yourself, what am I learning? How am I growing? How can I apply these principles even more effectively? Where are my current growth edges? Why this works is because a commitment to lifelong learning keeps your mind agile and open, preventing complacency and ensuring that your mastery is dynamic and evolving. Self-reflection provides the crucial feedback loop for this continuous improvement. What it looks like in practice is a seasoned professional who, despite years of success, still reads industry journals, attends conferences, seeks mentorship, and perhaps even mentors others, understanding that teaching is also a profound way to learn. They might also dedicate a few minutes each evening or an hour each weekend to review their actions, decisions, and internal states, looking for patterns and opportunities for refinement in how they apply their alchemical mindset. Following the commitment to lifelong learning, the next key action is to actively seek out and embrace new challenges that stretch your abilities and expand your horizons, even when you have achieved a significant level of success. Comfort can be the enemy of mastery. Intentionally stepping into situations that require you to learn, adapt, and grow keeps your alchemical mindset sharp and prevents stagnation. This might involve taking on more complex projects, exploring new areas of interest, or pushing your boundaries in ways that align with your evolving purpose. Why this is effective is because challenges are the catalysts for growth. By consistently engaging with tasks that are just beyond your current level of competence, you continuously expand your capabilities and reinforce your identity as a growth-oriented individual. What it looks like in practice is an accomplished artist who, instead of just repeating their successful style, decides to experiment with a new medium or explore a different thematic direction, knowing that this will push their creative boundaries and lead to new levels of artistic expression. Or a business leader who, after achieving market leadership, seeks to enter a new, challenging market or pioneer an innovative product line, thereby fostering continued growth for themselves and their organization. The third vital insight for transmuting mindset into mastery is to integrate your alchemical principles into your very identity, teaching and mentoring others whenever possible. When these ways of thinking and acting become fundamental to how you see yourself. I am a persistent person. I am a lifelong learner. I am someone who transforms challenges into opportunities. They become deeply ingrained. Furthermore, sharing your knowledge and insights with others, whether formally as a mentor or informally through your interactions, solidifies your own understanding and reinforces these principles within you. Why this works is because teaching requires you to articulate and embody the concepts at a deeper level. And seeing the positive impact on others provides powerful confirmation of their value. It also shifts your focus from solely personal achievement to contributing to the growth of others, which is a hallmark of true mastery. What it looks like in practice is someone who has successfully cultivated immense grit and now shares their strategies and encouragement with colleagues facing their own challenges. Or a parent who consciously models a growth mindset and resilient attitude for their children through their daily actions and conversations. This act of giving back and embodying the principles for others elevates personal transformation to a legacy of positive influence. Alchemizing your mindset into mastery is the ultimate expression of personal agency, where you not only achieve your goals, but become a continuous creator of value and an exemplar of lifelong growth, turning every aspect of your life into a testament to the power of a cultivated, persistent, and purposeful attitude. This entire journey, from understanding the initial power of your attitude to the profound integration of a masterful mindset, has been about unlocking the alchemist within you. You have learned that the ability to cultivate persistence and win big is not an arcane secret, but a developable skill, a process of internal transformation that yields extraordinary external results. By choosing your attitude, shaping your beliefs, building grit, embracing the daily effort, bouncing back with purpose, making that effort intelligent, and committing to consistency, you have forged the tools for lasting success. The culmination in alchemizing this transformed mindset into mastery means that these principles are no longer just techniques you use, but reflections of who you have become. An individual capable of turning any base circumstance into an opportunity for golden achievement, continuously, and with ever-increasing skill. Throughout Attitude Alchemist, we've journeyed together, uncovering the profound power you hold to shape your reality by first shaping your inner world. We explored how a deliberate attitude can serve as your compass, how foundational beliefs steer your actions, and how unbreakable grit is forged in the fires of challenge. You've learned to embrace the daily grind with purpose, to bounce back from setbacks stronger than before, to turn your efforts into tangible gold through intelligent application, and to harness the immense power of consistency. Ultimately, we saw how these elements can be alchemized into a state of ongoing mastery, where your cultivated mindset becomes the wellspring of continuous growth and big wins. Thank you for dedicating your time to explore these principles with Brainpower Blueprint. We trust this journey has ignited your inner alchemist and equipped you to persistently pursue and achieve your grandest ambitions. If this content resonated with you, please show your support by liking this video, sharing your invaluable thoughts or experiences in the comments, and subscribing for more empowering insights.